7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Latina Diaspora. For the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with this channel or are watching this channel for the first time, what we do here is we discuss issues pertaining to Latinos residing in the United States. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I also want to let everybody know that the subscriber note has been enabled for the first 5 minutes, meaning if you're not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you need to subscribe to the channel. And of course, I have my main channel, which is called Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, which we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions. So, as always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, whether you've been a supporter from the very beginning or recently joined. I really appreciate your love and support. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. Your continuous support really touches my heart. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices and those who watch from the clouds, even the haters. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. As you can see, I have a new intro, which I will be using on this platform. It also applies for my main channel. The topic for tonight is the seniors. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about how the elders look upon in the Latino community. Now, before we get into the main topic, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. So before I begin, let me just state that next week's schedule is going to be a little bit different. I'm probably going to be doing my stream on this platform on Tuesday night. The schedule for next week will be Monday, my main channel. Tuesday, this channel will stream. Wednesday, I'll be doing a stream on my main channel, and then Friday, I will be doing my weekly version of in open discussion on Friday. So I'm trying to keep it a regular schedule. It is a bit of a challenge, particularly when I'm doing two platforms. Okay. But in any case, there seems to be some revisionist history being portrayed. What do I mean by that? I alluded to this yesterday on my main channel. I was recently on Gigi's last live, and of course, the topic had to do with baby mamas. and also had to do with the fact that there were certain content creators that were commenting um, on the stream uh, recently on Magic's channel, talking about how they missed things were in the golden spear and the mixed spaces and things of that nature. And to be perfectly honest, I kind of find it ironic that the ladies who try to wreck things and try to take over the spear and try to become the boss chicks of the spear, talking about how they wish things were. Um, it would have been better had Magic Mulata and the Future Golden had tried to work with Golden Goddess and now known as Dreamy Reality. Unfortunately, the Eagles got in the way and they couldn't uh, work with Gigi and Dreamy. So have the fall have been able to work as as a group, it would have been an awesome force. Okay, so you would have four strong and independent ladies working as a collective. That's a problem sometimes. Sometimes when you have uh, strong ladies, sometimes they're going to compete, and sometimes they're going to, the egos will be left unchecked, where they try to become the bosses of a platform, of a collective. And unfortunately, when you have people who try to act like a boss, it damages the collective. So I just have to give my opinion about it. Of course, we all know that Lady Creole is back producing her content, which is now it's more about Christ-centered content, where she focuses on pride and being Christians and things of that nature. And of course, one of the key elements of her message is that uh, you can be okay. You can learn more about your culture. You can learn more about your roots. The issue is when it becomes a point when um, you become so boastful regarding your cultural roots, things of that nature, that it becomes an idol. Unfortunately, this is something that is an issue. Here in the Latino sector, we do have certain individuals that are so boastful and full of pride regarding one aspect of their culture that they treat it like an idol. And of course, I'm referring to the Hispanic types who have this self glorification regarding Spain. And of course, I have an issue when individuals, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, instead of focusing on all three elements of the culture, which is, of course, Spain, the indigenous peoples, and Africa. But when they focus solely on Spain, it can become um, cultural worship, and it could become, and that element could become an idol. So just be mindful. Whenever you place anything or anything or anyone above God, that person or that thing becomes an idol. And we all know how the Bible feels about idol worship. So, with that being said, we're going to get to the main topic. Now, in all fairness, being that there are other content creators which are live tonight, so I don't anticipate a lot of activity being done here. I suspect that most people are probably going to watch it on the playback. So realistically speaking, I'm only going to be on, say, 30 to 45 minutes. That's the reality. So now, why am I talking about how the Latino community views the elderly? Because the reality is this: I am no longer young. I'm 60. I'm going to be 63 this October. So technically, I'm considered elderly. Of course, I just want us to look into um, how the Latino community views the elderly. So what I'm going to do is, before I continue, let me just state for the record that the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to hit that link and to opine regarding the topic in hand, they may do so. Again, let me just state for the record: if I never seen you before, if I never heard from you before, I will insist that you come up in the backstage before I let you on the panel to make sure that no one, and I repeat, no one tries to flash anything inappropriate, particularly when it comes to genitalia, because I don't wish to have YouTube take down this stream because some people decide to expose themselves or expose certain things that um, which will violate the community guidelines. So the reality is this: thanks to modern medicine and things of that nature, uh, we are living um, into the 70s, 80s, and with proper care and with proper diet into the 90s. So we're going to examine how in the Latino community view the elderly. So what I'm going to do is let me just share my screen. Okay. Okay, so hopefully the image will load. Now, this article, this article, when it does, okay, it has to do with a poll. Now, this is something that I discovered from PBS's news website. I know it's a little old, but Hispanics have more positive experience caring for the elderly, the poll says. So let us discuss it. Nope. Oh, okay. So let's just begin. Hispanics are more likely to consider caring for an elderly relative or friend to be a positive experience and less likely, says, create stress in their families, a new poll found. More than 9 in 10 Hispanics over age 40 reflected positive on their personal experiences providing assistance with loved ones, while 82% of non-Hispanics offer positive reflection, according to the poll released Tuesday by the Associated Press um, NORC Center for Public Affairs Research. Also, 36% of Hispanic caregivers said that they experience stress as a result of assisting loved ones on an ongoing basis, with 54% of non Hispanics saying the same thing. Hispanic caregivers are also slightly less likely to say the experience that places a burden on their personal finances. There is nothing said about Hispanic culture that embraces caring for our families. Yania Cruz, president and CEO of the National Hispanic Council and Agency, says there's been a that's been a way of life for us and for many Hispanics being able to care for loved ones or a parent is gratifying because it's a way to fulfill what we are raised to do. According to the poll, 60% of Hispanics 40 and older say they have to provide or receive or finance long-term care services, and 50% are currently receiving or having received long-term ongoing living assistance. Government figures show nearly 7 in 10 Americans will need long-term care at some point after they reach 65. Hispanic adults over 40 are more apt than others to think that they will need care someday, the poll found. 32% call that extremely or very likely compared with 20% of non-Hispanics. Yet only 1 in 10 Hispanics reported doing much planning for their long-term care. Further, only 1 in 5 was confident that they'll be able to pay for long-term care if they personally need it. The care of United States aging population is becoming a national concern. By 2050, there will be 83.7 million people in the U.S. aged 65 and older, almost double the estimated 2012 population of 43.1 million. Hispanics will make up more than one out of every five out of 2050, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Taking care of family is often gratifying for Hispanics, Cruz said. Being able to see grandma and interact with their grandchildren and being able to develop the interpersonal bond as a family is something that's very much in line with who we are as a people, she said. The AP NORC Center survey was conducted um, with a random sampling of 1,745 adults aged 40 or older, including 450 Hispanics with the funding from the SCAN Foundation. Results of the first survey have a margin sampling error of plus or minus 3.6% of percentage points. It is 6.8% among Hispanic adults. So let's just give you some. Now the reality is this. Excuse me. The reality is this. We are getting older, all of us. Okay. That's something that I am personally am aware of. Okay. Now, in my case, what I have done and what I have tried to do, um, in light of the fact that I'm getting advancing in age, I have attempted to maintain an active lifestyle. Okay, when I mean active, I mean taking several walks every day, short walks, trying to, of course, right now I'm engaging in exercises for physical therapy regarding my knee replacement, which was done last year. Also, have modified my diet, okay, which means trying to eat more fruits, trying to eat more vegetables, try to stay away from fried foods, trying to also um, control my portion size. And of course, there's a lot of factors involved. First of all, is unfortunately is the fact that I have lost several of my siblings due to the fact that they were not proactive regarding their personal care. Okay, so what I've done is trying to uh, live a healthier lifestyle. Okay, because if you are able to become more active as you age, and you're able to change your diet, it's going to help you find out illnesses. It's going to help you to deal with all sorts of medical conditions. And of course, as you age, um, it does affect your eyesight. It does affect your hearing. It does affect your ability to get around. It also affects the fact that sometimes it takes longer to recover from illnesses. Okay. And of course, in my case, I have experienced a total of three knee replacements. Okay, two on the left side and one on the right side. Okay, so to ease the pressure on my joint, I've lost close to 50 pounds. I also want to lose some more weight because I want to be as healthy as humanly possible. So, just, so what I'm going to do is now, and of course, in the Latino culture, to be perfectly honest, um, from what I see, is that we do have a deeper understanding, a deeper affection towards, you know, towards our elderly members of our family. Okay, because among the Latino culture, we tend to be more nurturing and things of that nature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share one more article. Like I said, I'm not going to be here that long. Just give me a moment. Let me just. Okay. So okay. So I came up another website, and here's another article. And the name of the article is "Aging in Style: Health Topics Among Hispanic Latinos." Uh, I know there's some people that gets into a hissy fit. Some people prefer to be called Latino. Some people prefer to call be Hispanic. To me, it makes no difference either way. Okay. Um, I identify myself as Latino, but it's like tomato, tomato. So let's read. Let's speak on the article. Most older adults would prefer to live out their golden years in the comfort of their homes. The population continued to grow more diverse. By 2060, Hispanic Americans are projected to make up 21% of the entire adult population. For Hispanic Latino elders, there are unique challenges in safely aging in place, including managing multiple chronic diseases, language barriers difficult in navigating the U.S. healthcare system, minimal financial resources to meet the needs that come with aging at home, receiving sufficient support for family caregivers, and maintaining important connections with loved ones. As this population grows, it becomes even more important for service providers to understand and meet their needs. NPA Salud is here. Okay. Here were four ways that community health workers can help meet the needs of all adults, as demonstrated by NPH Salud's Life Stages Initiative. Okay, let's see. Most CHWs are in a unique position to provide tailored support to elderly Hispanic Latino adults. Many older adults in this population have difficulty understanding their comorbid or chronic condition, and healthcare providers often lack the cultural competence for working with Hispanic Latino older adults. This can result in a weak provided patient relationship. CHWs meet people where they are in terms of language, location, and culture. They provide education in a way that people understand and support, that empowers older adults to prevent and manage disease and enhance the quality of life. Because of the nature of the CHW client relationship, CHWs can initiate conversation and provide information on sensitive topics like caring for one's mental health needs or considering advanced care planning. The CHW-led conversations are useful for older adults and their loved ones because it provides a safe space for elders to share their thoughts and concerns on topics that rarely discussed but are important to address to support aging in place. In NHP Salute Life Stages Initiatives, CHW facilitate educational discussions on topics like physical activity and mental agility. As a result of CHW-led education, NPH Salute Older Program participants have experienced a 56.6 increase in physical activity every 6 months. After starting the program, reported feeling isolated decreased by 10.2% for 4 months. And we see some people engaging in some sort of activity. Now, another thing with bear in mind, as we get older, we're going to need such things as case management, because we're going to need some assistance trying to navigate those services that we need as an aging population. Okay. Sustaining long-term changes to improve healthy lifestyle can be impossible without general support and encouragement. CHWs can also provide older adults with ongoing case management to ensure that they have the support they need as they make changes in their lifestyle and strengthening healthy habits. MHP Salute CHWs have a success of providing such services to the Asian Hispanic Latino community. Okay, this is in Texas. So, home assistance and modifications. This is for aging safety and CHWs can provide home assessment to ensure that there are no potential hazards that could put older adults at risk of falls or injuries. Sometimes the older adults live for long, and the family members may not be aware of how difficult it can be to get around in their homes. And HP Salute CHWs provide participants with equipment to enhance their safety in their homes, as well as their quality of life. But for home improvement projects require extra attention. CHWs can make a referral to project partner to complete home modifications. Okay. Referral for services. Now, again, like I stated before, as people age, they may need some assistance as far as getting some assistance things of that nature. Okay, such as case management, such as maybe they need referrals, or maybe they might need assistance as far as securing medical services. Many older adults have at least one chronic health condition that requires ongoing management and care. That some 56% Hispanic Latino older adults have at least one chronic condition. This makes easy access to use of welfare services incredibly important. Unfortunately, issues like language barriers, inconsistent access to transportation, to travel to medical appointments, and the lack of health insurance can make accessing these services feel impossible for older adults. So this is us, and this is us. So we're gonna park it here. Okay. Let me just check for a moment and see if there's anybody. Okay. I just want to make sure that if there's anybody watching it on Instagram, that they be acknowledged. So there are many challenges as you grow older. Okay. Some of them are physical, some of them mental, and also as you grow older, uh, they will, you are going to experience loved ones passing on uh, due to illness or age. Okay. The longer that you live, the more deaths that you're going to experience. So sometimes the elderly, when they get to be advanced their 70s or 80s, they are alone. They live alone. Um, so there's a feeling of isolation. There's a feeling of loneliness. Sometimes they have issues of depression because they have no one to interact with. Now here in New York, we're fortunate because we do have senior citizen centers where the elderly can congregate. They can engage in activities. They can have meals. Sometimes they plan uh, trips and things of that nature, and also social gatherings. Okay, and of course they provide case management services as they need it. Um, so in my case, for the last several years, uh, I have been trying my best to live a healthier lifestyle. Okay, because my observation is the more that I try to, the more healthier my lifestyle is, more active. It will not be such a challenge uh, dealing with all the medical health issues that we deal with. Among the issues that the elderly deal with is, of course, diabetes. There's also mobility issues. Uh, Also, issues with high blood pressure. Our hearing may be impaired. So there's many issues, and the way I see it, I mean, I would say it's the same thing, whether it be a Latino from the Caribbean, or Latino from Central America, or Latino from South America, is that people tend to look out. I mean, particularly for the La Abuelas and all abuelos and things of that nature. In any case, I'm going to start to wrap this up. Um, now, of course, next week I'll have another topic that has to do with Latinos. Um, of course, I'm gonna, you're more than welcome to share as long as you don't use the content to try to attack me or attack other people. So I just want to let everybody know that I will be live tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. On my main channel, which I'll be talking about open discussion, which I'll share my views on several topics, and of course, the audience will have an opportunity to opine. So I'm going to ask you, if you have not done so, please subscribe to this channel. And with that being said, I wish all of you a good night. Take care and peace.
Be strong.